Hello and welcome back to chapter 6 Functions. So this is the part 2 where we will learn the user defined function. So with this function there are two main function over here, as you can see. No, there are one main function and this is the secondary function where you would loop your code inside. Okay, the execution of a C program begins from the main function over here. When the compiler encounters function name, control of the program jumps to the void function name. So this is the function call. It is how it will call on to the other function. And the compiler start executing the codes inside function name or inside this function, the void function name. The control of the program jumps back to the main function once the code inside the function definition is executed. Alright, how the user-defined function works. How function works in C programming, it is as you can see from the previous code, there are two functions. One is the int main and one is the void function name. And everything will be executed inside integer main first, as it is your first code. And then inside this main there is a function call which calls onto the above function name bracket semicolon. It will call onto this function which starts with void. There are other function later that we will use that uses integer or character or floating or besides the function name. And then every code that you put inside the function name will be executed, and when it's finished it goes back to the integer main. This is so that you can clean up your coding more, and if there is any error you can detect the error more easier than before. As before it was all stacked into one integer main, while this one you can separate each kind of settings or options into different function call over here. Okay, so C allows you to define functions according to your need, and these functions are known as user defined function. For example, suppose you need to create a circle and color it depending upon the radius and color. You can create two functions to solve this problem, which is the create circle bracket function or the color function. So C function declaration. A function declaration has the following parts: return type, function name, parameter. So this is inside the function to send values back to your main function. Function declaration is required when you define a function in one source file and you call that function into another file. In such case, you should declare the function at the top of the file calling of the function. So generated from the general form of a function definition in C programming language is as follow: return type, function name, parameter 1, parameter 2, and the body of the function. Here's an example of a function declaration. The return type of the function is void. The name of the function is greet. The empty parentheses mean it doesn't have any parameters to send to back to the main function, and the function body is written inside this squiggly bracket. So void greet is just here to print this output, which is hello world. Simple enough. So return type, when function finish its work, then what kind of data it will return. Function name, write a meaningful name, any name. And parameters for the function, here will be enough data to work properly, how the function will work and what kind of work it will do, and what kind of data it will return. So over here you can see there's another function where its name is return type function name, and the parameters it want to send, function body, and return value. This will be easier to understand once we see the full coding later. So calling of a function in the above program, we have declared the function name greet bracket. To use the greet function, we will need to call upon it. And here is how we would call the greet function just now. So as you know that we will use integer main as our main body, and inside there we will call upon a function greet bracket semicolon over here. It does not need to add the void over here as it is only calling onto the sub function. So over here, once it is called, it goes into the greet void greet over here and execute the hello world just now. And once it's finished, it goes back on into the integer main. Since it is just a printf code showing outputs of a character, only void is needed over here. You do not need to use integer or floating and any other definition over here. So this is one of the example of full function coding, but this is just a simple one as shown, as similar as the one we seen before. So in this full coding, we shall include standard io.h library, and the function over here is void greet. You declare it over here, and printf hello world. This is the coding that you will execute inside the void greet. And in your integer main greet function, it will call upon this function over here, and it's will display hello world and go back into integer main, ending the compiler by using return 0. So this is the simple output hello world just now. So the exercise here wants to add 5 more greet function over here. If there is multiple function call, it will technically loop multiple times into the void greet, and it will show 5 different hello world over here since we've called upon it 5 times. Okay, example 2. There are 2 sub function over here which shows the printf for circle and printf for color it. Alright, and inside your integer main over here, it calls upon this function create circle 2 times and then printf the end and ending it with calling color it. Alright, so as you can see from the integer main, it calls create circles 2 times. It goes above here, printf circle, and goes back into the integer main, continues with the second create circle, and goes back to the first sub function just now, and call upon the printf the end, and next one is calling into the color it, and immediately shows the output for color it. So this is your simple output, which shows the double the calling of create circle, which shows the output circle, circle, the end, and color it. Simple enough for a simple printf coding in a function.